Here comes Scotty. He's a berserker. Here comes Scotty. He's a berserker. Too much crap on the floor over here. Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Excuse me. It's actually gonna chain my shirt. Hold on. Alright, technically it's a different shirt. Same color though. Different shirt. Alright, so we're gonna... Hold on, I need my notebookie. I was so ready to celebrate my victory in more ways than one. Crown Jewel. WWE Crown Jewel 2022. Or like 2022. Whatever. So, I don't normally talk about these ones because normally they're on when I'm busy, you know. But I'm not busy today. So let's talk about WWE Crown Jewel 2022. Alright, so like the build to this, I don't care. I don't normally these are glorified house shows, and the matches they gave us. Look, pay-per-views in general, I'm sick of. Oh, we're gonna have one or two championship matches, and the rest are gonna be nonsense, bullshit rivalries. Every championship, I know there's a lot, but not much anymore. But every title should be on the line at a pay-per-view. Don't you remember back in the day when you were younger in the 2000s, and they had these pay-per-views? They meant something or premium live events they're called now, who cares? Matches that meant something, titles on the line. Yes, you could have rivalries without titles on the line, but the only non-title rivalry that really felt like it deserved to have a match on this card is Karrion Kross versus Drew McIntyre. Nobody cared about Braun Strowman versus Omos. Two big meaty men smacking meat. Who cares? Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. Like, I said it was my most anticipated. I didn't really care. Something happened before. After seeing the match, it's kind of for me. So, I don't know. And yeah, it was the first match of the night because Brock Lesnar wants to go home. So yeah, let's go ahead and start talking about this because it's just, I don't know. But we did have some titles on the line. Surprisingly, shockingly, there was one title change. Don't worry, it wasn't that title. If you haven't seen the show, you're thinking, no, it's not that title. Calm your tits. Alright? So we start off with Bobby Lashley, who's dressed like ketchup and mustard, versus Brock Lesnar. And yes, it's a typical Brock Lesnar match. Bobby Lashley attacks Lesnar before the match even starts. They get in the ring, they start doing stuff. And it's a weird kind of move where Lashley has, like, it just lasted less than 10 minutes, I think. But, like, no, I was on the phone with Big LT when this match was going on. And then I was messaging him, voice message, when the finish happened. But from what I can remember, Lashley had the Hurt Lock in, and Lesnar rolled him up and got the 1-2-3, and Lesnar wins. Look, Lesnar did not need to win this match. He's getting a big paycheck either way. He did not need to win this match. I understand Lashley won the last one, so Lesnar wins this one. They're going to have a rubber match down the line. I get it. That's why they did it. But in a screwy finish like this, I feel like Lesnar could have beat Lashley clean here. Especially since Lashley didn't get a clean victory over Lesnar last time, I feel like this should have been the clean victory. But no, screwy finish to start the show. And if you want to do a screwy finish, the first match, not to kind of quote my GM, but the first match of a show should be a big fight field, should have a big finish, a clean finish, not screwy ass finish to start the night. And the only reason why this match was first because Brock Lesnar didn't want to stay for the whole show. But if you flew all the way over there, you might as well just be in the middle of the show. I don't know. Ow! Excuse me if I don't get the order. I think next was Alexa Bliss and Asuka. Alexa Bliss and Asuka versus Damien Sutter. And this is another one that was confusing to me. So if you don't know, Damien Sutter lost the tag team titles to Alexa Bliss and Asuka this past Monday. And then they just won them back today. It's the middle of the day for me. At a Crown Jewel. And this match was meh. It was women's tag team wrestling. It's fine. But it ended, weirdly, when Nikki Cross, of all people, interrupted the match. I think someone should tell her, it's the wrong match. Why did she have anything to do with the tag team titles? Wasn't she going after Bayley and Bianca? Why would she interrupt this match? It makes no sense. But she did. Doesn't make any sense at all. None. Mm-mm. Nope. And, okay. I watched these premium events. Anyone else getting sick of these stupid superstar promo packages in between matches? They do the same one for Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes and Matt Riddle and all that shit. Enough! Alright? You don't need to keep doing the same promo. How many times can you tell us that Cody Rhodes hurt his pec and is out for 6 to 9 months? We get it. Alright? We get it. You don't need to keep showing us that same promo. Alright? I don't understand why they gotta keep showing those in between matches. I understand why, like, they have to put something in between so they can set up for the next match, but these, you can, like, go back to the classic days of WWE. Do an interview while they're setting stuff up, you know? Cut to the ring announcers when they talk about stuff, you know? How about the actual, and here's the thing, they do a little promo in between, and then they have the promo for the match. Just air the promo for the match. I don't know. Next we have Daddy Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in the cage. And I actually thought Kross was going to win here, even though I, put Bobby Lashley down to win. Because even though it's I don't get this either. They say, oh, they got the cage, so this Scarlett can't get involved, but she still got involved. So the whole point of having the cage is throw out the goddamn window because she sprayed the Drew McIntyre with the mace and she messed with the door so he can't get out. What's the point? What's the point? I don't know. And they do the thing that I'm getting so sick of when they do cage matches where one person's coming over the top, the other one's trying to get through the door. Who's going to get there first? The person coming over the cage. And it's always going to be that person if they're smart. Because here's the thing. They're coming over the top of the cage. It's maybe a 10-foot drop. They're halfway over the cage by the time that the other one's trying to climb out of the door. And I know they've done before where the door person wins too. But it's so obvious, just drop. If you drop clean enough, you'll be fine. You know? Even if you drop to a point where you can drop and roll, I think you'll be fine. These are athletes, right? Not some fat ass from Minnesota. The person climbing over the top should always win. My opinion. Although, I do aim for the fact that it should always be a pinfall or submission in a cage match. Because to me, the escaping thing of a cage match has always been the least appealing thing. That's why I like Hell in a Cell matches better. You have to have the pinfall or submission. Even if they get out of the cage, there's still that pinfall submission. You have to do it. Whereas in a steel cage match, you can climb off the top and go through the door, and it's how you win the match. That's stupid. It's an easy way out, and you shouldn't need to do it. That's why I edit cage matches on WWE 2K22 to where there is no escaping the cage, although the stupid-ass AI does it anyway, and then they're standing out there, and none of them are standing in the ring, and they're like, because AI now no longer knows what to do, because the match didn't end, because it's not a win condition, so they're just standing there, adjusting themselves, and you gotta restart the match. Anyway, yeah, Drew McIntyre wins. Again, much like with Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, it's kind of a rubber match deal. Now there's a third match somewhere down the line, to which Cross should win that one. I'm just saying. Next, I believe we had the OC versus the Judgment Day. If I'm not completely in the same order, but I believe that's what it was. And this came down to Rhea Ripley. It really did, because you had, this was actually pretty good. A lot of back and forth stuff. Dominic Mysterio. Apparently, I was listening to the commentary. Apparently, Dominic Mysterio says he's the best Mysterio, the best luchador. On what freaking planet is that possible? I'm sorry. Dominic Mysterio is not very good. Okay, he's still green around the gills. He's not. No, this character they have him doing doesn't make any sense to me. I'm the best Mysterio. I'm the best luchador. Hornswoggle is a better luchador than him. Hornswoggle is a better wrestler than Dominic Mysterio. It's one of those things people say. There are superstars that win because of, they get success because of who their family is. I have been a big proponent, a big negative on Charlotte Flair, because all her success is not because she's a good wrestler. She is a decent wrestler, but all her success is because Daddy pays the money for her to win these matches. That's all it is. If her name wasn't Flair, she would not have the success that she's given. And Dominic Mysterio is showing that same thing, where he's saying, I'm the best Mysterio. He's going out there and he's getting a success, right? But it's going the negative, because Charlotte Flair has the right to brag. Charlotte Flair has won titles. She's beaten people in matches. She has had the success. She has the right to declare herself the best, Right, Dominic Mysterio has done nothing. He's won the tag team titles with his father. No singles championships. They wouldn't even let him beat Seth Rollins, which he should have, in a one-on-one match. No. There's no way this character makes any sense with him bragging, I'm the best Mysterio, I'm the best luchador. You've done nothing to prove that. But anyway, the Judgment Day win. By the way, props to Michael Cole. He said Bullet Club in this match. He said Finn Balor used to be the leader of the Bullet Club, and AJ Styles become the leader of the club. And then he even mentioned that I believe they had to do that. They had to say this because of the whole New Japan thing. But they talked about New Japan Pro Wrestling. They say Carl Anderson is the current never openweight champion, which I believe they had to reference because they booked him. They booked Carl Anderson for the match at Crown Jewel when he was supposed to defend that never openweight title in New Japan, which he could technically still do if he hits the flight and goes to Japan. I'm not sure what, I know it's night time there, but I don't know about Japan either. I don't know. It's very weird with the time zones, but I don't know. To me, it's the middle of the day, so I had lunch watching this. But, yeah. Judgment Day wins because Rhea Ripley interferes. And, yeah, there's another thing on commentary where they say Rhea Ripley told Michael Cole that she's paying tribute to Beth Phoenix with her hair. Beth Phoenix has never, ever had that hairstyle. I know she had a weird kind of hairstyle at one point, but, not like this. I don't know what the hell Rhea Ripley was smoking, but Beth Phoenix never used that hairstyle. I thought maybe it was like Luna Vachon or something was what it reminded me of. But yeah, this was actually a pretty good match. But yeah, next we have is it Braun Strowman versus I believe, I don't know the others, but it's Braun Strowman versus Omos. Braun Strowman wins. Okay, I didn't pay much attention to this match because it's two big men, but this is a Vince McMahon match. Like, this is something we have to have some kind of big attraction, and this was it. And unfortunately, the wrong person won. I feel like if Vince McMahon booked this, though, Omos would have won. But Triple H booked Strowman to win, but Omos should have won because he's the young upcoming superstar, and he needed a win. But he gave Strowman, and this match was just kind of meh. Because, I don't know, maybe my GM has a thing. Two big meaty men don't make a good match. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We had the Brawling Brutes versus the Usos, and quite predictably, the Usos won. But there was a moment where I thought the Brawling Brutes had it. Because there was a moment where they did the thing where Ridge Holland hit the white noise on one of the Usos, and Pete Dunne was holding the other Uso down, and the referee went for the one. He went for the two, and his hand went down, and the Uso kicked out. I went, oh, jeez. I became Al Pacino. Let me tell you. I was insane. I thought, I almost had a heart attack. I'm telling you, I thought it was it. But the Usos won. After that, there was really no offense from the Brawling Brutes. And the Usos won with the 1D off the top rope. So, yeah, the Avalanche 1D, whatever you want to call it. They won. Predictable, but still a decent match. And then we had the last woman standing match, Bayley versus Bianca Belair. This was another one where it was like, okay, Demet won the tag titles. So is Bayley going to win here? And I feel like she should have. She didn't, but I feel like she should have. If they're going to give, like, what do you do with Bayley now? What do you do with Bayley? They even said this on commentary. Like, if she loses, what do they do? What does Bayley do now? Does she move on? What happens? If she loses this match, what does Bayley do? Because Bayley has tried now 2 or 3 times to win the title. I feel like she should have won it here. But they gave the one and only title change. Yeah, spoiler alert for the main event. Logan Paul didn't win. But anyway, one and only title change to the tag team champions. And I feel like they did that. That's why they changed that's why they had Alexa Bliss and Asuka win the titles on Raw, so that they could have at least one title change and give it back to Demet, because Bayley wasn't winning. But you should have given it to Bayley because she was kind of outsmarting Bianca here until the very end. And I don't know. I feel like Bayley should have won this. Bianca's had it long enough. We don't need long reigning champions anymore. That was a big problem with Vince McMahon's booking, is that he would book their champions to have them for a long reign. And we have now 3 champions who have held their titles for a long ass time, right? You got the Usos and Roman Reigns, who have held their title. They say Roman Reigns has held it for over 2 years now. The Usos have held the titles for a long time. Bianca should have lost the title tonight. Now, this match was actually pretty good for a last man standing match. I said before, I don't know. I quit matches last man standings. They always have to have a screwy finish, and they did have a screwy finish here, but I thought it was decent. There was some stuff in the ring, normal, right out of the gate wrestling stuff. And then Bayley kept trying to, she kept trying to win by making sure that Bianca couldn't get up. So she locked her in what did they do? She put her in the ring steps up against the ring and then put a ladder on top so she couldn't get out, but that didn't work. And then she tried to lock her in one of the lock cases, and I'm like, a loot crate case or a loot case, whatever. You know, from 2K18 where you open up, boom, you got the VC and stuff like that. But like, I felt like that could have been the finish because all you need to do was snap the locks in, and she can't get out. 10. She only got out because Bayley was presented after trying to be smart for most of this match, was stupid for not latching those locks. And I feel like that should have been the end. She's locked. I thought it was the end. I'm like, okay, she's in. And then she burst it open. I'm like, no. If those locks were latched, she's not getting out of there. Strength be damned. She's not getting out of there if those are latched. I'm sorry. They weren't latched. So that makes no sense that he did that. And then Bayley goes and gets a golf cart. And then it looks like she's going to run her over, but it's going at the slowest freaking pace. And then Bianca gets out of the way. That leads to a move that happens, but it really doesn't play much to the finish. The finish was eye-rolling. Okay, so they did a thing where Bayley's trying to use the ladder on her, and Bianca hits a KOD on the chair, and then puts her under the ladder and sticks the ladder underneath the bottom turnbuckle, so it can't get out. Here's the problem with last man standing matches. They seem to only count when you get up all the way, and that shouldn't be it. They should only count you if you're laying down. Like, even the video game does this. If you're laying flat down and can't get back up, then they count. But as soon as you start getting up, they should stop the count. As soon as you're at least on one knee, or at least in some sort of upright position, they should stop. You shouldn't have to get all the way to your feet for it to count. I'm just saying, because I've seen it where they're on one knee and they're still counting. I'm like, why are they counting? They're up. Okay, I have to get up on their feet? No. They should only have to get up at least on one knee for the count to stop. And they don't. And the big problem I have with this finish is that the referee in this match, the entire match, was counting like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The whole match. Bayley's underneath the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, wait, what? And Bayley gets out into an upright position, but the referee still counts to 10. So that's a bullshit finish. Bullshit finish. Bullshit. Okay? If you're going to have a screwy finish where she's locked in there, don't have her get out of it. Have her try to move, but can't get out of the ladder to the point where, because this was stupid. She is basically upright like this, and they still count it, even though she's technically up. She's technically not laid out and laying down. It's stupid. Let me get to the main event. Logan Paul, everybody's favorite WWE superstar and YouTuber, versus the Tribal Chief, the undisputed Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. And, okay, so I was confused because they were like, oh, Jake Paul's going to be at ringside with Logan Paul. So this thing starts. You get Roman Reigns coming out for his 45-minute entrance with Paul Heyman. And then Logan Paul comes out. First of all, he's standing on the Bobby Roode NXT TakeOver thing where he's way up and he comes down. Wade Barrett on commentary says, I didn't give him permission to use my bad news podium. I did laugh at that. But Jake Paul's nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. So you get the match, and let me tell you, you may not like Jake Paul, but the dude has put in the training. They showed him in promos training with Shawn Michaels. And the dude can wrestle. The dude has talent. Okay? The guy has talent. not ready to be champion. It doesn't deserve a main event match like this, but the dude has talent. It's only his third match, but they gotta be a big spectacle for Crown Jewel, I guess. I don't know, but the dude has talent. And there was a certain point where I thought Logan Paul had it won. There was a point where he hit a frog splash. Okay, so at a certain point in the match, they're going back and forth, and then Logan Paul puts him on the announce table, the Arabian announce table, I think they said it was, which, I don't know, Michael Cladd might be a little bit racy, but who knows. Logan Paul does the splash, then the Usos show up. And they try to help the Tribal Chief, and then they go off on Logan Paul's entourage that's with him. They have a little fight, they get in the ring, they do a super kick thing to this dude, and then Jake Paul finally comes out, even though they said he was going to be a ringside. He wasn't, really. He comes out and he takes out the Usos. And then Logan Paul's about to win. He hits the frog splash in the ring, but only gets a 2. And then Solo Sikoa comes out. And his theme song, I do not know yet. I'm like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? It's Solo Sikoa. And he and Jake Paul are about to face off, but security gets in the way. And it just leads to Logan Paul doing a crossbody onto the Usos, and then gets back in the ring. Superman punch. Spear. It's over. And after this match went longer than I thought it would, I don't know, it was kind of a ending for this match. To be honest. Yes, it was the right decision, because I don't know, it could be the end of the world if Logan Paul won. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I am sick of this Roman Reigns matches having the Usos interrupt, cause a distraction. Roman Reigns wins, and then goes out after the next couple of days and declares himself, I'm the best in the world. I'm the GOAT. Yeah, but only because your cousins helped you. Every single match now, the Usos or Solo Sikoa get involved. And then he goes out like he is a big, badass motherfucker because he won the match. But he didn't do shit, really. If it wasn't for a distraction or an interference, he would not have that title. And I just don't think that WWE gets it. I don't think they get it. You are building this guy as he's the big dog. He's the GOAT. He is the champ. He is the tribal chief. But every single one of his matches end in distraction or interference because he can't win it on his own. If you're building up this guy to be the big guy, you would have the commentators saying he is the best superstar in WWE, longest reigning. But it's not working when every single one of his matches ends because of some kind of interference. Is title defenses. You cannot go around saying he's the best when he cannot win on his own. You are contradicting yourself. I don't know words that much. I know words, sort of. You are contradicting yourself with your announcers and your managers and your commentators basically going down on Roman Reigns, saying he's the best in the world, he's the tribal chief, he's the longest reigning, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But every single one of his title defenses end with him winning because of a distraction or an interference. Why can't he win clean if he's the best, if he's the king, if he's the number one? Why can't he win on his own? Why does he need help? It contradicts itself when he comes out. Yeah, I'm the tribal chief. Acknowledge me. I'm the best. But in the back, there's this. You only won because of interference. You only won because of interference. I understand he's the heel, and it's supposed to be that way. He's the heel. He's the big bad guy. But you cannot promote this guy as the top in your company, the best, when he's only winning because other people are helping him. It doesn't work. You know? It's like saying, hey, you made a badass pizza. That pizza you gave me? That was a great pizza. You made it pretty good, but in the back of your mind, I ordered Domino's and just said I made it. It's the same thing. You could say, oh, I won the match. But did you really? Did you really win the match? No, because you had help. I'm just saying. It might not be the best analogy. Like, you cook this dinner, right? You cook this big dinner for your family. And you're like, look at this dinner. It's delicious. It's delicious. But then you have to tell them, but then your mother comes in and goes, oh, but I helped you do half of it. Yeah, you going out there saying, oh, I made this big, yummy dinner. Your mama helps you cook half the meal. That's a better analogy than what I did with the pizza. It's the same thing. So, yeah, I'm getting sick of these interference finishes with Roman Reigns. Just have him win clean. If you are booking him as this big badass, just have him do it. All right? These interference finishes from the bloodline are just getting stale. It's getting old to the point where we're expecting it now. All right? One more thing before I get done. Bray Wyatt did come out. It really was nothing. About, Bray Wyatt's going to come out. He's going to talk. It's the same shit that he's been doing on SmackDown the last couple weeks. He comes out. He does a promo. Uncle Howdy gets on the Titantron. Spews out some bullshit. And then it's over. If you're looking forward to seeing something big with Bray Wyatt, no. Because they clearly don't know what they're doing with this character. They just wanted to bring him back. And that happened before the main event. But I almost forgot to say it. But yeah, Crown Jewel was fine. I'm going to give the overall show a C. Because I feel like they could have done better. Especially with the finish to the Logan Paul match. I feel like, especially it's Logan Paul. Do you really need to have interference for Logan Paul? Maybe it's to build him up, but come on. Nobody thought he was going to win anyway. So why even try to... The dude has natural athleticism anyway. You don't need to have interference. I'm done. I have to go. I got more important things to do. Champ out. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.